Hey, how's it going? Hope you're all doing great. Today, we've got something exciting to talk about. Zenless Zone Zero's brand new update, version 2.3. This patch has just dropped, and it's packed with new agents, stories, gameplay changes, and quality of life improvements that make the whole experience feel even smoother. Whether you've been playing since day one or you're just hopping back in after a break, this update is definitely going to pull you back into the action. So let's just start talking about what's actually happening in this update, because there's a lot of really cool stuff to go through. So first off, Zenless Zone Zero version 2.3 is officially titled Memories of Dreams Bygone, which already sounds mysterious and emotional, right? The update went live on October 15th, 2025 after maintenance, and it's bringing both new and returning characters into the spotlight. If you've been waiting for new S-rank agents, this patch definitely delivers. We've got Lucia and Yidhari headlining the banners, and both of them bring fresh energy to the combat system. Lucia especially has been the talk of the community ever since her reveal. Stylish design, flashy moves, and personality, the personality is right into the high-energy chaos of new Eridu. Lucia's part of Phase 1, which runs from October 15th to November 5th. Alongside her, we're also getting a rerun for Vivian, which is great news for players who missed her the first time around. The featured A-rank agents for this banner are Kamano, Minato, and Piper. So if you've been trying to build a team around those types of agents, this is a perfect chance to fill in some gaps. Lucia's signature W engine, Dreamlit Hearth, is also up for grabs, and if you're serious about maximizing her potential, it's a must-pull. Dreamlit Hearth has been getting a lot of praise already. It amplifies her damage output and makes her combos feel buttery smooth. Then, once Phase 1 wraps up, Phase 2 kicks in from November 5th to November 25th. This is where Yidhari steps onto the stage. Yidhari's design and combat style are completely different from Lucia's. She's got this cool, calculated vibe with a deadly elegance that sets her apart. And for anyone who's been looking for a fresh DPS experience, she's probably going to become your new favorite. Her banner also includes a rerun for Jufufu, which adds a nice balance between the new and familiar. The featured A-ranks this time are Pan Yinhu and Poltra, while her signature W engine, Kraken's Cradle, is the prize for those who want her to really shine. Kraken's Cradle has unique interactions that enhance Yidhari's core mechanics, so again, if you manage to pull her, you might want to aim for that weapon too. But of course, it's not just about the banners. The update also brings in a brand new gameplay mode called Threshold Simulation, Branching Echoes. This mode is designed to challenge players with a series of layered combat scenarios that test both your skill and team composition. It's a step up in difficulty, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You'll find yourself experimenting with new tactics, adjusting your agent's setups, and really paying attention to synergy. What's cool about this is that it's not just another grind mode. It feels like a genuine test of your understanding of the game's mechanics. Plus, it ties nicely into the new story chapter, so everything feels cohesive. Speaking of story, Season 2, Chapter 4 has finally arrived, and this time, the spotlight is on the Spook Shack. If you're into the lore and world building of Zenless Zone Zero, you're going to love what this chapter brings. It's packed with emotional moments, clever dialogue, and just the right amount of mystery. You can tell the writers have gotten more confident with each update, because the pacing here feels much tighter than before. The characters get more depth, and the overall tone leans a bit more mature while still keeping that signature ZZZ energy. Completing this story chapter will also unlock a new outfit for Kamano Minato, which is a nice little bonus and a reason to push through the quests right away. And of course, it wouldn't be a Hoyoverse update without events. The main event this time around is called When Dreams Remain Unfinished, and it's got that classic mix of story-driven gameplay and rewarding missions. You'll get to experience unique scenarios that expand on the main narrative, all while earning polychrome, upgrade materials, and other goodies. On top of that, there's also the login event called Starting Gifts. It's basically a little thank you from the devs for staying active or coming back to check out the new version. You can claim things like polychrome, around 600 just from logging in, and a few other resources that help you catch up or prep for new pulls. For those who love cosmetics and customization, this update has a treat. Vivian is getting a brand new outfit that you can earn through spending milestones spread between version 2.3 and 2.4. Manato's free outfit, which you get from completing the main story, is another highlight. It gives his design a nice refresh without feeling too over the top. There are also some accessory updates for Wise and Belle's summer outfits, adding those little flair details that make the characters feel even more personal. It's honestly one of the things I love about ZZZ, those subtle touches and visuals that make the world feel lived in. Now, combat-wise, there's more than just the new mode. Lucia and Yidhari both come with new Perpetrator battle stages, and these are essentially boss fight challenges where you can test their limits. Lost Void has also been expanded with new gear additions, giving players more options for building optimal loadouts. There's even a new boss that appears in both the Deadly Assault and Lost Void modes, and early feedback from players is that it's one of the toughest and most fun encounters we've seen yet. If you like a challenge and you enjoy mastering enemy patterns, this boss is going to keep you busy for a while. Now let's talk about some of the quality of life updates because honestly, they're just as important as the flashy new stuff. The developers have clearly been listening to player feedback. One of the biggest improvements is in the drive disk system. You'll now get recommendations for substats, which saves so much time when optimizing your builds. It's small, but it makes a huge difference, especially for newer players who might not fully understand which stats matter most for each agent. Ether battery selection has also been improved. You can auto-select the right materials, making upgrades way faster. The special training plan interface has been refined too. It's cleaner, more intuitive, and makes it easier to track your progress. All of these little tweaks add up to a smoother experience that just respects your time a lot more. If you're the type who likes to plan your pulls strategically, here's a bit of practical advice. If you enjoy support-oriented gameplay or prefer to strengthen your existing teams, Lucia is a solid choice. She brings powerful abilities that enhance allies and smooth out team rotations, making her an easy fit in most compositions. Her damage potential is no joke either, especially with Dreamlit Hearth equipped. On the other hand, if you've already got your supports covered and you want a more dynamic main DPS option, Yidhari is your girl. She's flashy, she's strong, and her Kraken's Cradle W engine elevates her to a completely different level. For free-to-play players or those who are light spenders, it might be smart to wait until you've had a chance to experience both banners before making a decision. Claim the login rewards, clear out the new story, and play around in Threshold Simulation first. You'll get a feel for what resources you'll need and who actually fits your current team best. There's no rush. The banners last for weeks, and the resources you gather early on can give you that extra edge when you finally decide to pull. Something that stands out about this update compared to earlier ones is how polished it feels. The pacing of content, the balance between story and gameplay, and the sheer amount of quality of life improvements show that the developers are paying attention to how players actually experience the game day to day. Even small things like UI adjustments and performance optimization contribute to making Zenless Zone Zero feel more cohesive. And since Hoyoverse has been updating this game quite frequently, it's pretty clear they're in it for the long run. If you're someone who steps away from the game between updates, this one's a great reason to come back. There's something new for every type of player. Story lovers get a meaningful new chapter, combat fans get new challenges, and collectors get new characters and cosmetics. It's that kind of update that just breathes new life into everything. The Threshold Simulation mode especially gives veteran players something to chew on. It's challenging without being unfair, and it encourages you to experiment with agents you might not have used before. At the end of the day, version 2.3 feels like a confident step forward for Zenless Zone Zero. Lucia and Yidhari aren't just new faces. They represent two distinct playstyles that keep the combat feeling fresh. The new story chapter deepens the lore in ways that feel rewarding, and the events give everyone a reason to log in regularly.